Hello, and welcome to another episode of Garden to Table with Rose. And I am Rose, and it is Thanksgiving morning. Why am I making a video on Thanksgiving morning? The reason why is because I needed to come out to the garden and see if I have any celery left, because I want to make potato salad for dinner today. And although it would have been easier to go to the grocery store and buy some potato salad already made, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make my own if I can find celery. Plus, I figured this was a good time to do a final tour of the garden because everything is pretty much wrapped up. There's nothing left I'm really doing out here for the rest of the year, or not until spring. So I'll give one final tour, last one of the year. It is pouring down rain. Well, not pouring, but it's raining pretty heavily. So let me turn the camera around. Got an umbrella in one hand, a camera in the other one. My rain barrels, they did pretty good. I ended up having to just dump a lot of the water out at the end because even though it's been really cold, it's been raining a lot. And it's continued to fill them up, and I don't want that to swell and burst possibly over the winter. So I've just kind of opened the tap occasionally to let out as much of it as I can. But I've pulled out everything that needed to get pulled out so far. Let's see, I planted garlic. There's garlic in that first bag. I was going to try to do it differently because last year all my garlic rotted. So I was going to try to put it in the shed and then bring it back out, or my potting shed, and bring it back out. But those things are heavy. I wasn't going to lift these big things. I had enough stuff to put away for the winter in the shed. So, I wasn't lifting these big totes. So what I did is I put most of it in these totes and I covered them. So I'm hoping that keeps it from getting too saturated with water. Alright, so I put the garlic in those totes and covered them up, and hopefully that keeps it from getting too soaked. Looks like the dogs have managed to get behind here and dig in there a bit. I tried to cover these up a little bit because I don't want all the nutrients to leach out before next year, those totes. But anyway, I pulled out all of the stuff that needs to go. The only thing that's here is some of the herbs. All of my berry bushes obviously are still here. I planted carrots in some of these bags, turnips, radishes. Some of those are still in because they're not mature yet, so I don't know if they'll survive the winter. We'll have to see. Maybe, maybe not. Some strawberries were over here in these strawberry bags, so they're still here. And that's about it. It's cleaned up, definitely, compared to what it was. And these are just covered totes waiting for next year. Over here, the wind blew down my tomato cages. This was a bust. I planted my fall winter crops here, and unfortunately, I guess I need to keep them covered up all fall because something got in here and chewed off, I don't know if you can see that, but all the tops of my brassicas, like every broccoli plant I planted and cauliflower, it just raised the whole top off. I thought it was a bunny because I've had a problem with a bunny or two over the summer season, but on my cameras I caught a possum, an opossum. So I think that possum was coming in here each evening or morning or whatever and having a feast. So the only thing I managed to salvage was some cabbage that I had growing in the back, which is actually I'm having for Thanksgiving dinner tonight. Cabbage. And then there are some more leafy greens back there. I'm not even sure what that is. It might be more broccoli or cauliflower, or it could just be, well, right here is Romasco broccoli in the front, but whatever animal has eaten most of that definitely ate all the purple broccoli and all the green broccoli. So there was some sprouting broccoli back there that's flowered a little bit. So I did eat some of that. It didn't mess with the sprouting broccoli. It must have didn't like that for some reason. But yeah, that's all that's going on here. And then I generally will cover up my rows, the ones that are exposed, with leaves from, fall leaves that fall down. I usually mulch those up and cover them up. And then my green stalks, they're all put to bed. That one's trimmed back. That one was the strawberries. This one has some herbs in there that I'm not sure if they're going to come back or not, so I just left it. I do have lettuce. And this one, the bottom half, which I will still harvest as long as it doesn't die, which is doing pretty good. Even in the frost, it bounces back lettuce. This was all lettuce, but I didn't get much growth out of it. You can see there's some little baby sprouts. I planted this a couple months ago, so I don't know what happened, but not much lettuce. I came out here to see if I could salvage some celery. Ooh, there's a little bit. It's dying off because it's been too cold, but I'm going to come and cut a little bit of that out just because I really want to make some potato salad, just a little bit, and I need celery. The rest of this was kohlrabi. It looks like they've given up growing. The only other thing I have out here that is still alive is I got some purple bok choy back there, 4 or 5 heads of it. It looks really pretty, so I'm going to make sure to harvest that before it dies off. And Brussels sprouts, which they're laying over now. They've gotten too top heavy, but there's lots of Brussels sprouts on those. And purple, they're all purple. I need to come out and harvest. And then I got some leafy greens back there too, in the middle of the Brussels sprouts. It's hard to see because the Brussels sprout plants are humongous. So that's the last of what I have to harvest for the season. I did plant, this looks a mess, but it looks like that because I planted all my bulbs, hundreds of bulbs I ordered. I planted them around this side and the front, and then I covered it with straw. And I've got like chicken wire down there. I've just threw my equipment on there, and that's to keep the dogs from digging. They will dig up the bulbs if I don't cover them over these next few months. They like to dig, so, and if they sense a critter or smell a critter, they will dig it all up. So I am not letting all this go to waste. When spring comes, I do have some little short fencing that I'm going to put around it to try to keep them out. And if that doesn't work, I'll put up some of that garden fence, which isn't the most attractive, but I put a lot of time and money into these fall bulbs, so I want to have them bloom. So my trees seem to be adjusting to the change in season. There were a couple that I cut back because the leaves were looking crazy. One I transplanted when the shed got put in, and so I trimmed that one back because it was, had some transplant shock. I think Luca has on occasion come out here and chewed on a branch or two from these trees, and he doesn't do it regularly. It's just some random, like every blue moon randomly, he'll just come and chew on one of the branches. So I've had to trim back at least one of those due to him. And then over here, my elderberry bush, he decided he should chew that one for whatever reason, so I trimmed that one back. He doesn't chew all the branches, just chew one or two. So you can see those are the shorter branches because I had to trim that one back. But that's it. The grapes are all dormant and berries here. Hopefully everything bounces back in the spring. And so yeah, that's it. It's all wrapped up. I have a raised bed on my front porch. That one has a bunch of bok choy in it. It's full of bok choy. I haven't harvested that yet, but that one has a cover on it and it's on the porch, so it's a little protected. So that one I should be able to harvest into winter, the beginning of winter. So that is it for the final garden tour of 2021. I will be back in the spring of 2022. We'll be cleaning up the yard, getting everything ready to plant, and pruning the trees finally, I believe, is when I'll do that for the first time. And fertilizing for the first time the trees. So next season should be good, definitely. There's no more big things to put in. Trees and berries and all that stuff aren't in. So it really will be just focusing on the actual seasonal gardening aspect and keeping everything healthy. And hopefully things will get bigger. It'll look more lush. It'll be great. The shed is fantastic. I'm loving the little potting shed. I put all my things that needed to be taken in there for the most part. I got my citrus trees in there. And I think I had one fig tree, which actually I need a second one of those. It's always good to have fruit bushes and trees in pairs, at least, so they can cross-pollinate. But I'll probably get another fig tree in the spring, but that's about it. And thank you for joining me on this rainy day. And when you see this, it'll be, you know, after Thanksgiving. But goodness, I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend, holiday. I hope it's full of gratitude, full of love, and full of memories with people that you care about. All right, until next time, take care of yourself. And if you haven't already, click the little thumbs up like button on this video and subscribe to the channel so you get alerts of upcoming videos, which will still be every Wednesday, although they've all moved indoors now, so it's cooking and all that kind of stuff. But I shall see you all next week. Bye-bye.